so this is our first video edition of the Pledge Training Podcast. So you guys that are listening can also actually see us interact and what we look like, facial expression. Tom's back there on the ones and twos. I know y'all love Tom. Just don't even love me. They only talk about Tom anyways. But I am here today with a fellow medical professional who is very progressive at integrating lifestyle and healthy nutrition into helping people heal themselves quicker. So without further ado, Jan Park, Health Yourself, check her out.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
For sure.
Very excited to be here. Like I did come from the traditional medical system like you, in nursing, so registered nurse, and did that for the first half of my career. Like the first 13 years I was CCU nurse, recovery room, and honestly something was really missing for me in that whole thing. The best way to put it really is we were very good at saving lives, especially in like CCU with open hearts, but we weren't changing lives. And
I like that.
We were discharging patients, you saw it, and we were discharging patients back to the same lifestyle that landed them, frankly, on the open heart table to begin with. So, and then you start seeing the frequent flyers, they're coming back with stents occluded and all that. So, I just didn't really see a fantastic quality of life that I was impacting, or giving towards. So, I've been in health and wellness. I kind of bailed on that and kind of went over to the preventative care side because I've always loved health and wellness and teaching. So I've been doing health and wellness for the last 13 years in a corporate wellness role, but also private and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
So fitness and nutrition. So
yeah.
So a little bit about me.
We were just talking before we started recording, sorry guys, about how rare it is to see true fitness and health professionals together. Oftentimes within my dietetics program, most of the girls weren't really that interested in fitness. They sort of were in there thinking nutrition was the key to everything, and were really realizing that everything matters. Being active matters, your mindset matters, your sleep matters, your stress matters, your interpersonal relationships matter. And so I think the days of really attacking these diseases, these chronic diseases, with one approach are gone. So like they've been finding, even with the long-term diabetic studies, that the ones that work are multifaceted is the buzzword that they use.
Absolutely. And the one side that we've traditionally used, unfortunately, to our chronic diseases is the pharmaceutical side, and throwing drugs at diagnoses. So there's definitely a disconnect between what you get in our healthcare system and from your physician versus what you really need in everyday life to reverse and manage these conditions. People are usually blown away when I say this, and I know you know it. But most people think that if they have, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, or if they're genetically prone to it because someone in their family has it, that they're destined to get it. But 95% of those three things, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes, is reversible without medication, but through lifestyle modalities. Weight loss being a big part of that, but it's more than just that. It's all of those other things you mentioned too. So that to me is exciting, because when you know that, you are in control. You can be empowered to change your life and not have to be on tons of medications that, as you know, have tons of side effects. So it zap your energy and kind of one side effect, you got to get medicated for another side effect, and you keep adding and adding. And so that's what I love to see. I love to see people empowered by taking control of their health and not thinking that once they have those diagnoses or any kind of condition that it can't be way better managed with your lifestyle modalities.
Absolutely. People aren't helpless in this day and age. Like, we have everything at our disposal, and I think, like we were talking about earlier already, that it's very important for people to take control and responsibility for their health. So the days are gone where you go see a doctor and they do everything for you. So especially because like the diseases we have nowadays are all lifestyle diseases. So cardiovascular disease, like massive, nutrition and activity component there, and stress. Absolutely. Like they're all linked to all of the diseases that are plaguing us and crashing our healthcare system.
Yeah. The chronic ones for sure.
Yeah, and the doctor isn't gonna make you run on the treadmill while you're there.
No. You have to seek that help elsewhere, because it's no fault of their own. Physicians, well, they don't have the training to sit there and counsel you in nutrition, first of all, and they don't have the time. I mean, that's they can't do it all. So it's a team effort, and right. But you do have to be your own advocate, and you have to seek out good knowledge. And out of all the areas of science, I think nutrition causes the most confusion for people.
Yep.
And it's because it's a big industry, so it's prone to fad diets and nutritional confusion, which adds to the problem because people get frustrated. They try things that don't work, they get frustrated, or they try things that are not sustainable,
right?
Or they're eating separate from their family because and then you feel like a short order cook. So all of that stuff in the nutritional world, the confusion that's out there is mind blowing.
Yeah.
So
I think really the biggest issue that I've seen with that is people think and they have this belief that there's one thing, there's one diet. They're trying to find that one diet,
magic bullet, that magic bullet,
one exercise program, that's perfect. And perfect is the second problem.
Yep.
Because we're humans. Sorry, guys.
That's right. Don't go for perfect. Go for progress.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Progress over perfection.
Yeah.
Always.
So you just, you can make a couple little changes. You can say, hey, my breakfast used to be just orange juice followed by a croissant.
Pop-Tart maybe.
Or a Pop-Tart, strudel, whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm going to get something with some more protein there. Maybe I'm going to wake up 5 minutes early and scramble eggs.
And throw in a lot of veggies.
Throw in lots of veggies.
Right, in that omelet.
That's right.
Yeah, no. Small changes in baby steps is so key.
Yeah.
It is key. I mean, it's fun because New Year's Eve is right around the corner, and New Year's resolutions, people are very prone to just want to completely turn over a new leaf and be a new person, and then in February all the gyms are empty.
Right.
And it's because it's too drastic and it's unsustainable, and so you do. I'm a big believer in incorporating things that you can live with, even if it's one little baby step at a time, and and figuring out what can you add to your diet instead of take away all the time. Which to me is always vegetables. We don't eat enough of vegetables, but
I agree.
Yeah, but concentrating on things you can add that taste amazing and keep you more full, then.
Yeah, not to mention, there's been some preliminary research coming out that says that perhaps the hunger signal is left on when we're missing nutrients and micronutrients as opposed to just macros and blood sugar. So that is a case for eating nutrient-dense, calorically low foods like veggies.
Yeah, I do believe you crave something.
I know. That's for sure. Pica's real. That's well documented for a long time. Pregnancy, when they crave inorganic things like clay that have the missing minerals.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they will test them and see that they're missing certain minerals that are found in clay.
Wow.
When they find a pregnant woman craving clay. Which I think is the coolest thing. Clay. Of course I rememred that from my nutrition classes.
Clay instead of chocolate.
Right? I know.
Probably stop eating it quicker.
Yeah, it might not be as close with your neighbors though.
Right.
You're there's a lady out there digging.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. No, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's pretty fun to learn about. I'm starting to get more into linking gut health to all the different things. To
I love gut health.
Yeah, gut health to mood
huge right now.
And the way your brain affects the gut barrier. They've actually shown that stress releases a compound all on its own that goes and makes your gut leakier.
Wow. Yeah, I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I love that you brought this up because I am such a believer in all health starts in the gut.
Yeah.
I just did a talk to one of the sororities at College of Charleston.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my old Tridel friends, my Delta Gamma friends, and we talked about how healthy eating can impact positive mental health and a lot about the gut microbiome, serotonin production.
Yep.
And that there's a constant connection going on between your brain and your gut. I mean, we say we have that gut feeling when you're nervous and you have butterflies in your stomach, or you're queasy because you're so nervous, or whatever. I mean, there's that constant communication. In fact, there's more nerves in your GI tract than there are in your spinal cord.
Fact.
So the gut really is your second brain, like they call it. But anyway, getting back to serotonin production, you would think, well, and for those of you listening, if you might not know what serotonin is, it's one of your most important neurotransmitters. It's your mood stabilizer, regulates sleep, it's your happy hormone, your sense of well-being. And you would think it's made in the brain, right? I mean, you would think, because it affects your brain so much and is so dependent on it. But 95% of it is made in the cells of your GI tract.
Yep.
And so, of course, the 2,000 pounds of food that we put through our GI tract every year, how can it not affect some of these important processes going on in our gut? And
probiotic is not going to fix what a diet is undoing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm a believer in probiotics, but you're right. You can't go through a drive-through every day and then think the probiotic's going to reverse that.
Exactly.
I wish it was that easy.
Supplement.
That's right. Nothing is the same as real food. Yeah. That'd be nice. You're really nice, actually.
Side note, I've always decided if I ever started a rapping career, serotonin was going to be my rapper name.
Serotonin.
So, my God.
Serotonin pleasure.
I literally wrote that in my journal one night.
Yeah.
I had a thought.
Well, it's done. It's sealed for me. I am now calling you serotonin forever.
Please. So if any of y'all want a nickname for me,
it actually suits you because it's a happy hormone.
Right? I know.
It's a sense of, it's a chill hormone. Yeah.
This is the serotonin podcast. That might be sick, actually. We might be changing this, guys. You were here for it.
You need to trademark that.
Actually, that would be sick. Anyways.
And spell it like your name, Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe dash, maybe not. Maybe just two capitals.
Yeah. We need to change the entire branding right now. Everything you do.
Thank you.
We just nailed it.
Things happening live.
I love it.
But so, anyways, we'll bring it back to topic. We were on gut health. Oh, I remember. So the what you eat changes what the microbiome excretes. And all of those byproducts are actually what go and cross the blood-brain barrier and affect the brain. So it's not the actual microbes in there. It's what you feed them, what they produce as a result, and how that can go cross the blood-brain barrier and make you feel happy, sad, anxious.
Isn't that amazing?
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
So,
because people, I think, for the most part, we all have grown up knowing that what you eat affects your physical health.
Right.
But we don't think about it for mental health.
Yeah.
And you can't separate the mind from the body. It just goes back to that.
And mental health, just as big of a problem right now as obesity, I think.
Absolutely. Again, you really can't. You can't separate it if you have so much stress going on mentally and so many things to distract you. Unfortunately, your health is usually the last thing you worry about. You get everything else taken care of first: your kids, your family, the bills.
Right.
job, of course, all that stuff. And it is unfortunate that your health is usually going to be the first thing that takes a hit, and your immune system. Immune system, you got health, right?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how many of your listeners may have heard this already, but 70% of your immune system resides in that healthy microbiome in
They
your gut.
have not heard that yet.
New topic. But yeah. And so if you're getting sick and run down a lot, again, people get stress.
Yeah.
But it also has to do with, how robust is that microbiome.
Yeah.
Because that's like the way I like to describe the microbiome to people is like your own army of militia, like fighting for you, your own army fighting off bad bugs, precancerous cells, all of these things that a good immune system does. 70% of it residing in your gut. And so when it takes a hit from a lot of antibiotics or chronic, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory stress, generally crap eating, it affects more than just your GI tract. I mean, if you look at the amount of medicines and prescriptions we have, I would guess, I don't know this for sure, but I would guess that the GI realm of diagnoses probably makes up a very vast majority in our society.
Oh, absolutely.
Between irritable bowel syndrome and just ulcers and stress in general. The amount of medications we throw at those conditions is mind-blowing, and we are so more apt at taking a pill for GI reflux than really looking at what's causing it and changing the diet. And all of those things affect this healthy bacteria, this healthy army that is trying to work for you every day, is these healthy bacteria.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And even a lot of people taking antacids and such, you're no longer digesting your protein fully in the stomach, and you're not killing pathogens in that low pH in the stomach because you've neutralized it with this medication. Whereas most of the issues with your acid reflux is often linked to obesity, which you're not doing yourself any favors if you're letting those bad gut bugs come up further and further, causing SIBO, causing further indigestion and actual physical barriers to proper absorption of what you are eating.
Yeah, so it causes a very bad cycle.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's rough because, reflux is painful. I mean, so it is hard. It's a hard thing, and you have to be patient, with figuring those things out and being able to kind of wean off of them if you can.
A client that I'm working with right now, shout out Judy Metz. She's, so we're doing nutrition and fitness, and she had a big hip surgery, and we just got her to be able to lift her leg again, and
Amazing.
I'm super excited.
Yay!
Yeah, now she's doing syringers and all sorts of crazy stuff. But anyways, so she was taking so much antacid, heartburn medication, and so we changed her diet completely. We just started there, and then every week we would just take it down just a smidge and say, hey, have you had any symptoms?
Yeah.
Have you had any heartburn? She's like, no, I haven't. It's weird. We eventually cut it in half. She's keeping the same healthy diet. How are you feeling? How is everything? She's like, oh yeah, no symptoms at all. I'm like, all right, quarter. And she's off.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, no longer has it.
Completely diet driven.
Diet driven, yeah.
I love hearing that.
I just think it's cool.
I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And it happens more often than people realize. You just have to be confident and consistent. You have to be consistent with sometimes diet changes take a little while, especially when you have GI issues. But to feel better, just being able to change diet and not having to add meds is incredibly, who wants all the side effects from the medications that you then have to medicate more for?
Absolutely.
We have such an over-medicated population right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, not to demonize it, but they do have the money for research,
Yeah.
I don't know the avocado committee is paying too much for any current new research to be done.
Very good point.
So, constantly the consumer has to be very aware of and wary of where the money's coming from for the research studies. And it's hard because the common person is not used to reading research papers.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we had multiple courses just on how to read research papers and how to fact check everything, how to look at the people producing the research and see if they had conflicting interests. And so we had to do all of that. And it's a lot of extra work, honestly. And like we're saying, the professional people who had to take those classes aren't often in roles giving consumers the information.
Yep, they stay either clinical or academic.
Yeah, they're academic. They stay. They write research. They write research papers that the common person doesn't read.
Right.
And so I'm glad that you're here to fill the gap.
No, it's a problem. I mean, if you search things, if you're left to your own devices to search things on the internet under nutrition, it's instant overwhelm.
Rough.
Instant overwhelm, because there's so many people trying to sell products, and which you don't need. You don't need any fancy products.
No.
You don't need. I mean, of course, I do some whey protein powder and stuff like that, but you don't need gimmicks, and you don't need. You need real whole food is what you need, and you need to learn how to be able to go to the grocery and do these things. And feed a family and feed yourself and know good nutrition.
Right.
But you don't need packaged products. Not that those things are bad. They get people going to start seeing results quick. So that's all good. But at the end of the day, you have to be self-sufficient in knowing good, solid nutrition.
So let's give people some takeaways here. So what would you say is the foundation for good nutrition? You already hinted at it, but
so I think first, finding out from a vetted source good knowledge. And not getting caught up into fad diets. So it's hard to know it's a fad diet because getting information from vetted sources, first of all. Having a plan that's sustainable.
Right.
If there's a diet or an eating plan that looks or feels extreme, it probably is too extreme and not sustainable. If it's cutting out any one major food group, unless you're allergic to it, that's different. But if it's cutting out an entire macro or entire food group, not the way we're built or Mother Nature intended us to be. So those are red flags.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna tackle this question. So what I tell people when they say, "What's a healthy diet?" So I start off with you need enough protein, because that's just, for some reason, especially women that come see me don't eat much protein at all, which I find odd, and I didn't know that was common because I grew up playing softball and all those girls ate plenty of protein. But later, anyways, interesting. So because a lot of times they would have like oatmeal for breakfast and then a salad, sometimes with no meat on it, and then at dinner they would have a little bit of protein, like 4 ounces of salmon or something.
And protein helps keep you full. So and so do fats. Yep.
So, but anyway, so enough protein. I eat a whole lot because I'm lifting and I'm trying to get stronger. Anyways,
so you are strong, girl.
So I start there, and then so we put the protein in. So we'll say it's eggs, chicken, and salmon.
Yep.
Then we'll say, okay, like where you're gonna get your actual nutrition from. Like that has your protein, it has some minerals, some zinc, some healthy fats, but we need our base, A, D, E, K, B vitamins. So then I add in vegetables.
Yeah.
So you want as many colors as you can get, as many of the groups as you can get. You want leafy greens, you want reds, like bell peppers, stuff like that, yellows, squash.
Eating the rainbow,
spaghetti, right? Eat the rainbow.
Right. Mother Nature's pharmacy, right there.
Right. Like, it doesn't all have to be a salad. It could be. I personally am obsessed with my new recipe. It's just salmon, sweet potatoes, and Brussels, and I put it all in one pan. Yeah. Chop up the Brussels and the sweet potato, coat it with actually 2 tablespoons maple syrup, 2 tablespoons coconut oil.
Yeah.
Mix it all together, put it all over it, throw it in the oven, 420 minutes, put the salmon on top of it, same glaze, 20 minutes, and you're done.
Love it.
Yeah, and I just make it in like mass quantity because I could eat it every single night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you takeaways, adding more vegetables, and looking at vegetables as sort of like the food you can biggie size.
Yeah.
Because you get so much bang for your buck out of them. They're low calorie, so they're certainly going to help with your weight loss goals if you have that or not. But they're so full of fiber, so they're going to feed the microbiome in your gut. They're disease protective. I always, when I counsel people, I'm like, there's no use in getting skinny. I don't even like that word. Like, eat to be strong and healthy. But you also need to eat to have your body to be like a fortress against disease, and your vegetables are your power food against disease.
Yeah.
And so when I really mean to look at your vegetables in that Technicolor area in the produce section as Mother Nature's pharmacy. I mean, if we had more of a respect for what they could do for disease protection, I think we'd always constantly be eating more of them. And the other takeaway, I think, don't you feel like one of the biggest areas of confusion is carbs?
We might differ here, but yeah, I'm gonna listen.
well, carbs are demonized, and I don't think they should be demonized. But I do feel like there's some carbs that have a lot emptier and don't have as much nutrients than other carbs, like your beautiful sweet potato. That's an awesome carb.
Agreed.
I'm
like nervous. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna get in a carb battle.
No, not at all.
It would sell well.
It's so confusing for people though.
Yeah, no, exactly. Case in point. So like where I've differed the most in a bunch of people, from a bunch of people that are really smart and I respect very much, is in carbs. So I in general end up putting my clients on about 50 to 100 net grams of carbs, depending on, minus the fiber, depending on where they're at and what their goals are and how quickly they want to drop fat. But so vegetables are carbs. All the vegetables are carbs, which is what people don't get.
And fruit, and they forget about that too.
Right. Yeah. So they're all carbs. And so when people think carb, what they visualize is white rice, white bread,
pasta,
white potatoes, and like they view everything else as not a carb. Like they don't even know what vegetables are. Like the vegetables don't fit any of the groups in their brain. Right. So when people are like, oh my god, like you hate vegetables, it's like, no, I love vegetables. They're the largest volume of my diet. But if I am trying to lose weight in a healthy way, like I'll drop the carbs and do like a carb backload because I'm super active. But anyways, the goal with that is I'm trying to regulate their blood sugar to regulate their insulin.
Amen, sister.
Cheers.
That is exactly
That's all I'm
the key
trying
to weight
do.
Loss. That is exactly the key to weight loss. Insulin is a huge hormonal player. And people need to. There are incredibly great carbs that you do not need to give up. But there are some that your body reacts to the same way as if you're eating white table sugar out of the bowl.
Even worse, actually. Interestingly enough, for some reason, so some fruit juice, if it has added salt, spikes your blood sugar higher than table sugar, like pure table sugar, which is interesting.
But then if you grab that juice package, of course our marketing is going to make it look like just because it's got 100% vitamin C that it's actually good for you. So it's hard because of the marketing. You know, we give that stuff to our kids, and you're like, whoa, it's just apple juice, or it's just, but you know, it's the fiber's been taken out. Eat the apple instead.
Right, eat the apple. Just eat the apple.
Yeah. Eat it the way Mother Nature gave it to you.
Cool. Yeah. Yay. We agree.
We should go on a carb mission. Educate
yes.
about carbs.
I mean, like, we could do that for a decade, and people would still need to hear it. Just think of different, unique ways to explain.
That's right.
Carbs.
That's right. There's good ones and there's bad ones, and it's the process. What we've done to them.
Yeah.
That made them bad. We've stripped them of all of their good stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what you had a great carb, but then we processed it and we took everything out of it. That was good. And then we're just leaving you with the shell, the empty shell of the carb.
Yes.
Like not brown rice versus white rice. Not that white rice you can't ever have it. It's not like, but it's just an easy comparison because that brown rice still has all the fiber and the bran and the germ in it.
Yeah.
And then white rice doesn't occur in Mother Nature, by the way.
Yeah.
It's processed.
Does occur in sushi, which is one of my cheats.
Brown rice is the way it comes out of the earth.
But yeah, well, awesome. I think I'm gonna have you back on.
That was fun. This was fun.
For sure. Well, just to wrap it up, where can people find you at? Work with you?
So if I can bring any more resources to your listeners, be super happy to let them know where they can find me. So my website is healthyourselfbyjp.com. Not help, but healthyourselfbyjp.com. My Instagram is healthyourselfbyjp, but it's got some underscores in there.
Right, of course.
Health_yourself_by_JP. I'm doing a fun, free workshop in January.
Awesome.
Just live in a private Facebook group.
Cool.
So to find that, I'm just going to teach for 4 or 5 evenings straight. It'd be fun. Maybe I'll have you come.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I know. I might do that.
Teaching marathon.
So a fun workshop after the holidays in January. Should be around January 6th, but if you jump in the private Facebook group, I'll send out, all sorts of notices. The Facebook group, I would just say if you go to my website, there's also a little announcement there saying where to join it. So that's the easiest thing, is just to go to healthyourselfbyjp.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I do want to say for anybody, any college kids out there, or any moms that, I have 2 in college.
I've checked your stuff out.
Yeah, but that is one area, I have a nutrition program online. I kind of packaged up my teaching and put it online for just super easy access. But I do have a program specifically for college kids, and with my older 2 being in college, it's really shown a need, and there's such a lack of that's such a population of college women to be prone to fad diets, and I do worry about them very much because, again, I have 2 of them there and all their friends.
Mental health.
Yeah, and a lot of stress, stress eating.
Yeah.
So there's some resources on my website, a whole program for college kids.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And probably their moms should hear about it too.
That's right. Even include a low-calorie cocktail list.
Hey, now that.
Yeah, for the ones over 21, right?
Yeah, for sure, for the seniors.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
I know, it's nice to meet everybody. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and
super fun.
I'll be sending links to all of her stuff, putting it here in the comments, where to find her, all her programs, and all your swag for Jam Park.
All right, now we need to do a workout together.
Yeah, dude, we definitely need to.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do a workout together.
Kick my butt, I'm sure.
Awesome.
All right, check y'all next week.
We keep it on.
Oh, keep it on. Wait.
We didn't do a clap at the beginning, so we can sync the video and audio. So.
Thank you for being smart. Tom the business guy.
All right.
Are you okay with that being your name?
Sure.
I like calling